Hello, everybody. I'm Keith Jones. I'm the creators. I'm the creator of the six-figure real estate wholesaling coaching program. We teach financial freedom and economic independence through wholesaling real estate. And whole, we fix and flip real estate in the metropolitan area of Atlanta, Georgia. Currently, we're embarking on what's mostly known, people, other investors are calling virtual wholesaling. We are going into the virtual wholesaling part of our business and using technology. By the way, what we're going to be doing about some of the technology that's used to do virtual wholesaling, allowing us to find deals, motivated sellers, and build our buyers list all across the country. If you're trying to if you're looking at taking your business to the next level, we've been wholesaling in the business in Metro Atlanta since 1997. We've been doing this for quite a while. By the way, like us, follow us on Facebook, all that good stuff. Click on the link, comments, and ask questions. I need to know how to help as many people as possible to take their business to the next level, or if you're a beginner, get started. Now, one of the things I do want to talk about very quickly, because I want to try to keep this video about 20 minutes. We're going to deal with some content, but I'm looking for acquisitions managers. Again, as I said a few minutes ago, we're starting to do deals all around the country. Now, I am interested in acquisitions managers in Tennessee, the northern parts of Florida, North and South Carolina, and Alabama. Now, the reason I'm sharing those states right now, looking for the acquisitions managers in those states, are because those are states that surround the outskirts of Georgia. And so again, we're expanding. We're going to be moving up into the Midwest, Michigan, my home state, my city of Detroit, my hometown, Ohio. We can't do much in Illinois. By the way, to wholesale deals in Illinois, you have to have a real estate license. You have to be a realtor or you have to have a real estate license as an agent or a broker to wholesale deals in Illinois. So we're going to forget about Illinois, but there's Wisconsin, there's Ohio, those surrounding states of Michigan. Of course, depending on what side of Michigan you own, the borderline of Michigan is one of the lakes, Lake Michigan. So anyway, we are looking for 10. I need 10 acquisitions managers who we can start communicating with as we do our marketing in those areas. I want to have boots on the ground so we can start making money, so we can start making things happen in those areas. Now, you don't have to live in those areas, but it'll, especially if you're a beginner. If you're a beginner, you're going to have more success if you live in one of those states, because you're going to understand what's going on a little better. If you understand the business as a wholesaler, you may not have to. You just understand how to set up contacts in those areas. By the way, the contacts you'll be setting up with are other wholesalers in those areas, those states, real estate agents who understand how to do business with wholesalers, real estate investors. Now, we need those people so we can use the technology to make this grow. That's what this is all about today. And I just want to put it out there. Looking for 10. I'm looking for 10 acquisitions managers that we can start building a business relationship with in states all around the country, honestly. So if you're interested, you have a little bit of experience as a wholesaler. I prefer you to have experience as a wholesaler than a fix and flipper or a buy and holder. I kind of prefer that. But, we can make something happen if you're willing to learn. You got to be coachable, and now I've been getting calls since I started doing our YouTubes and my Facebook and things, using technology to grow my business. I'm receiving calls, great people. I love it. Keep them calling. You guys, most of y'all have my personal phone number, which that probably won't last very long. But in the meantime, you get my personal phone number, you call me, and that's great. You got to be you you're gonna have to have a few dollars for a marketing campaign. You're gonna have to have a few. Honestly, you gotta to make this happen to you for you, I should say. Plan on at least $1,000 a month of a marketing campaign budget. $1,000 a month, $250 a week. For you're gonna have people. If people don't know you out there, nothing's gonna change. I'm gonna share with you as much of the free stuff that's out there, and I'm gonna share with you the paid stuff that's out there. But to combine the free with the paid, you're gonna get deals a lot faster. You're gonna start making money a lot faster, so you have money to put back into your marketing campaign. You gotta have a few dollars for a marketing campaign. I got a call from a lady Friday. Nice lady, won't discuss, say her names or anything, but she only had, according to her, this is her, when she told me she had $200 for 1 month of marketing, and $200, you need to be spending that per week. Now, I understand we have our budgets that people have their budgets. I had a budget when I first got started, but I had a regular job also, so I was able. And by the way, when I first started in 1997, there was it wasn't even close to as many people doing what we do. In fact, there was very few people doing what we do. Even nationwide, there was a couple guys going around teaching it, and once people started grasping it, it exploded, and I'm grateful for that. And by the way, here in Metro Atlanta, I do deals with some of the coolest brothers and sisters, men and women, who are in the business. We wholesaling, we co-wholesaling, so on and so on, and it's great. Again, I always say it's not about competition, it's about cooperation. It's always best to have a slice of the pie than have none of the pie at all. So I have no problem with co-wholesaling, and it's a great way to get started. But as a co-wholesaler, you're going to have some money to put into some marketing. You're going to be most successful if you're controlling the deals that you're trying to sell. A lot of the new wholesalers are doing things. They're marketing other people's properties. And they have the wholesalers' properties that they're marketing to. They have their own buyers list, and they're selling them before the co-wholesaler, new investor, can make things happen. This happened to me before, but it is what it is. That's why you have to have some money for a marketing campaign, so you can control the deals and get more sales. And again, we're going to talk about how technology helps us in the current market that we're in, and allowing us to be able to do deals all over the country. Now, if you don't have a marketing, if your budget is $200 a month, I honestly suggest that you probably want to stay in the local market. You're going to have to work a lot harder, because now you have to do driving for dollars. Now, as in virtual wholesaling, driving for dollars, we don't even do that anymore in virtual wholesaling. We may pick up new real estate wholesalers in those areas and teaching them the business, start them in driving for dollars. But now we literally don't have to do any. You can turn your laptop, your desktop, and your cell phone into a cash flowing mechanism, machine. You can make lots of money from home nowadays without. And with the pandemic, most sellers understand that you don't want to meet at the property. Most sellers will understand that you want to send someone else because you're not local. That's not going to be a problem anymore. This is because of the technology that we deal with. So we're looking for acquisitions managers. We're going to start the process of marketing to certain areas. I need 10. For those who want to be trained in the business, who want to come in as wholesalers, especially because we're going to start focusing mainly on virtual wholesaling now. What we do in Metro Atlanta is great. But as you've heard me say before, I'm interested in, my goal is a 6-figure monthly income now. We've been doing 6 figures a year for a long time, and it's great. We're blessed. I'm thankful. We're doing fixing and flipping. We're doing buying and holding. And the things that I do in wholesaling, I can't do around the country as a fix and flipper or buy and holder. It's easier now to set up wholesaling as a residual or not passive, but definitely residual stream of income, because of we can do things that we do nationally now, all over the country. We can set up wholesaling opportunities on a consistent basis to bring us income from as many states and many cities as we want. Now, speaking of states and cities, we're not going to be focusing on the large cities in around Ohio or around Detroit. We're going to be focusing on or around the larger cities in Tennessee or Alabama or North and South Carolina or Northern Florida. We're going to be focusing on cities or townships, whatever it could, because it's smaller, with a population from 50 to 150,000. That's our sweet spot as wholesalers to get out of the markets where it's so much more competition. From 50 to 150,000 in the population. Believe me, if there are people that live in those areas from 50 to 150,000, there are investors who are buying them, fixing them up to rent them. There's investors who are buying them, fixing them up to sell them. And all we got to do is start giving those areas attention. Now let's start talking about some of the technology that we will be using to find those properties in these 50 to 150,000 population areas on the outskirts, an hour to hour or two from the major cities. We don't want to be up in the major cities. That's when you start to spend thousands of dollars a week to get 2 or 3 properties, because everybody's sending mailers or doing cold calling or doing texting to Atlanta, to Detroit, to Cleveland, to Cincinnati, to Memphis, to Nashville. We don't want to be in those areas where everybody else is. The name of the game is to be on the outskirts of those areas from 50 to 150,000 population. Now let me tell you how you find those areas. Google. You sit down and Google towns or cities within 1 hour of Memphis, Tennessee, with a population of 50 to 150,000. Bang. It's that simple. Pick a market, pick a large city first, and then Google cities or towns with a population from 50 to 150,000 in an hour to 2 hours away from whatever big city, major city that you chose. Do that. That's what you say. Google. Just go to Google and enter it. Now, once you find that area that you're interested in, then you go to Zillow, enter that city's the name of that city, some zip codes, and break it down from there. Zillow is a great way to find what we're going to be looking for are for sale by owners that have been on the market for 90 days or more, and we're looking for properties that are for people looking to rent. You'd be surprised how many landlords who probably tired of being a landlord who'd be interested in selling that property after a while. I'm looking at the time again. I'm trying to make this keep the time down for you all. But you'd be surprised how many landlords who are tired of doing residential and ready to move on up to commercial or whatever, or just retire. So you're going to be looking for of course, for sale by owners. And once you get these addresses, again, technology, now we want to find those, we want to narrow it down to out-of-state owners or absentee owners of those houses. Out-of-state or absentee owners of those houses that are for sale by owner. For sale by owner. Now, common sense, if they're looking to be rented, we're looking at 2 lists: for sale by owner and ones that are for rent. The ones that are rentals, obviously, most likely they're going to be vacant. Most likely they're going to be vacant. And if they got them for rent, they're probably in reasonably good condition. So now you want to choose a price range depending on the area of the country that you're focusing on. Your sweet spot should be anywhere from $50,000 to $250,000. And of course, the more expensive they are, the most likely the better condition they are. If they're for sale by owner, that's not necessarily so. Because if it's $50,000 and it's for sale by owner, it's out of state owner, it probably needs some work. Cool. You find out what the comps are, what that property is worth, how many beds and baths, how many square feet the house is, and then you find out what the houses are selling for in that 50 to 150,000 population area, what those houses are selling for after they've been renovated and turned into move-in condition. So if that seller wants 50 grand for that house and you find out it's worth 150 grand once it's renovated, then and you can get it under contract for 50 and sell it to a local investor to that area at 60,000, you got a great deal. And this is going to probably sell fast because the seller's got, and you got to remember, the end buyer, the end buyer for us as wholesalers, the end buyer is the person who's going to buy it from us, renovate it, and sell it. You got to leave some meat on the bone. You should see some of the deals that these young people are sending to me nowadays. It's like, come on, people. I got people who send me deals. They want $195,000 for it. ARV is $350. Amount of work is $70,000. I'm already. If you add all that up, you in the freaking the property at like 80% of the value. They don't 70%. Write this down, please. 70% of the after rehab value is the max. Any fix and flipper is going to be in the property after to sell it. They want to have a 30% profit margin range because they still need to. If they're fixing flippers, they're looking to sell it to an end buyer who's going to move into it. They got to have negotiation space. They got to have room for closing costs, and so the closing and to pay the realtor on it, the selling realtor. You might as well from the beginning subtract 10% of the ARV selling price. Meaning, if the property is worth $250,000 and that's what the rehabbing investor, the fix and flipper is going to put it on the market for $250,000, he automatically has to subtract 10% off the top of that. 4% for closing costs, potentially depending on if he's closing with conventional lender or a cash buyer or whatever the negotiation may be. 4% is expected, and then 6% that goes to the real estate agent. So you automatically got to subtract $25,000 off the top of that $250,000. You got to understand the numbers, you guys, and you sell more deals. I'm blown away by the people just send it out there, just not understand. You got to understand. If you want sales, you got to understand the numbers. You got to understand the numbers. You're not going to sell anything. Now, as far as a buy and holder is concerned, the guy who's going to buy and hold it to rent it out, they will go a little bit higher. But you need to understand what kind of market you're in. Are you in a rental market? Are you in a fix and flip market? Those are the things you have to understand before you can just send the property out there. Because if you send a property, a fix and flip in a buy and hold area, you're not going to get the values probably that ARV of whatever they come up with. And if you're doing vice versa, you probably leaving money on the tables that you could have made. But understand the numbers. Technology. Google. You can go to Zillow and Redfin. If you know realtors, I can call up one of my realtor associates at any time and say, hey, give me the comps on 123 Maple Street. What is the after rehab value? What's this house? And with your comps have to be on properties that not just only within a half a mile of the property, they should be within the same construction. A brick house is going to appraise for more ARV than a frame style house. You got to understand the business. That's why having a coach and taking classes on the business and learning on a consistent basis is so important. I just signed up with a new coach, a new mentor on what I'm doing here, virtual wholesaling. I want to be one of the best at what I do when I do what I do. So I don't mind spending some money to have someone shorten my learning curve so we can get busy and start getting paid. You guys are going to have to start thinking like that also. But the technology that we have right now has made this business so much easier, so much easier. You can start doing this business from your home. your desktop, your laptop, your cell phone, and do very well. When I first started, none of this stuff existed in 1997. So take advantage of Google. Use Google to find areas that meet the criteria of a population. Use now. You're going to use Zillow to find the criteria of the individual houses. And the way you do that again is you're going to enter in Zillow. They have filters that you can use to narrow down the size of houses, the number of beds and baths in houses, the price range of the houses. Use Zillow. You can use Zillow and Redfin to do the same thing and do some comparison. Now, once you start doing that, then you have to be prepared, depending on what your budget is like. Either you're going to be doing this work yourself to find because you can go to tax records. You can literally go to tax records and find out who owns these properties directly if you want to, or you can pay a virtual assistant to go through the tax records of that county, that city, that state to find who owns these properties. But you're going to either be texting them, sending them letters, postcards, or doing cold calling. Personally, I'm not a fan of cold calling. They're trying to put a lot of restrictions on people who are doing these cold callings now. In fact, here, the city of Atlanta, the mayor of the city of Atlanta, and there's a bunch of cities around Atlanta, Stone Mountain, Decatur, Fayetteville, what have you. But the city of Atlanta, Mayor Keisha Bottoms is actually putting she's putting some restrictions on that you can only cold call a seller of a property no more than twice within 6 months for a cold call. But that doesn't mean you can't. Well, I'm not sure about the texting, but it does not mean you can't send them a letter or a postcard. People really getting a little fed up with the cold calling. Do what you got to do. It's working for a lot. For those who get it, do it. If it works for you, knock it out, hit it hard. But for those who don't want to get into the cold calling part of the business and end up being, stranded in the middle, there's texting, there's letters, there's postcards. By the way, because so many of the beginning investors are doing cold calling and texting, which texting I like, but a lot of are fading away from the mailers, the letters, and the postcards. I'm a big fan of postcards because people don't have to open them up. They read them and make a decision very quick. Letters, they have to open it up. The average person is lazy, so I like to take that element out, or that step out of my marketing campaign, and I prefer to do postcards. I'm a person myself, when mail comes, my wife will tell you, I take the mail by a stack. I'm the one to go get it out of the mailbox, and I put it on top of the garbage can, and she goes through it and throws it away from there. So, but I do look at the postcards. I look at all the other different stuff that's being advertised. People to clean gutters, people to paint your house, stuff like that. I'll take a look at that, and then I throw it away if I'm not interested, or I put it aside if I am interested. So, but the technology and I'm about to end this video. We're going on to 23 minutes, 25. I'm going to be out of here. Use technology. You got Google. Google will help you find populations. Zillow will help you with criteria of the properties. Redfin and Zillow will help you with your criteria, your properties. Criteria meaning the amounts of beds and baths, a price range, absentee owners, rental or for sale by owners. Now, if you're interested in learning more about what I'm sharing with you on this YouTube video, you can follow me on Facebook. Reach out to me on Facebook and Instagram, and go to our YouTube channel. By the way, make sure you subscribe. If you have questions or comments, please send them to me through the YouTube. Click on the link wherever it might be. Send me some comments. Help me understand how I can help you get off the ground, get your real estate investing business going. We try our best to make contact with those who genuinely are interested in learning the business. You don't have to be a someone who has $100,000 for marketing. If you can, you're gonna have to have, I would say, a minimum $250 a week for a marketing campaign, and I can help you. If you're genuinely interested, I can help you. If you got to be willing to take action. If you just want to sit and listen to me all the time, you're not going to be making money, and those who take action will make money. I'm Keith Jones. I'm the creator of the six-figure real estate wholesaling coaching program. I'm a real estate entrepreneur in the metropolitan area of Atlanta, Georgia since 1997. We buy and hold, we fix and flip. We teach financial freedom and economic independence through wholesaling real estate. If you want to know more about what we do, you want to be coached and mentored by me, please tag, again, reach out to us through, reach out to me through Facebook and Instagram. And this is a YouTube video that's going to be posted every place. I look forward to helping you as long as you want to be helped. Holidays are coming up. Everybody be careful. Wear your mask, social distance. If we want this pandemic to go away, we got to do what it takes to get it to go away. It's not going to go away by itself. I don't care who told you what. It's not going to go away by itself. We have to do things too. We're responsible adults. Wear your mask, social distance, wash your hands, and we can get through this. And maybe next year we can all have Thanksgiving dinners with the larger part of our families. This is going to be my wife and I in our house. And, that's going to be different, but it's what it is. And we're going to make it work. We want to be around for, years to come. Do what it takes. All right. I thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being here. If you're really ready to change your life for financial freedom and economic independence, I look forward to working with you. Thanks.